when you're looking at a player like Matt Jones that may have been available later, you like the guy. I mean, how do you kind of play that game in your head?
You never know. It's part of the game. That's why it's not exact science. I've had him. We had him put in the third round for a long time, and you could always say it'd be nice to get a guy in the fourth or the fifth, and take someone else. But at that point, he was the best player on our board, and I had absolutely no problem taking him in the third. It was funny. I talked to Frank Gore last night. My first draft in San Fran, we took him in the third. And I said, if he's half the player you are, we'll be okay. So but I'm excited about Matt. And he came in yesterday. You guys met him. He's a big body guy. He's a good football player. He's tough as crud. Yep.
Did Brandon's presence at all affect what you guys did with right tackle in free agency, knowing you might be able to get him, a guy like that, high on the board?
No.
And did you just see anything at that position?
Yeah, they didn't play into it. It'd been nice if we could have got a tackle in free agency. That'd have been great. We tried, but no, it did not play into it. Yeah, it did not play into it.
Seems like you guys picked a lot of guys who had been around for 4 years, stayed in school all the way through, and it got a lot of guys with leadership characteristics. How important was that, I guess?
Very important. I learned this when I was young. I was with Mike Holmgren, and he says, go back and do me a study. Look at the quarterbacks that made a commitment to a university and graduated, and their success in the league, and do the underclassmen who did not fulfill their commitment to the university. And at first I kind of thought, well, what's that really matter? And he told me, he says, I want guys, they tell you something, they finish it. And that's very important. I'm not saying there hasn't been underclassmen that didn't get their degree. They're really good football players, and there always will be. But I think when it comes down to getting close to it, I'll take the guy that committed to something and finished it.
Scott, back to the whole scout stuff that John asked you about earlier, specifically with Scott Campbell. I believe you were working with him before you actually took the job through your private scouting service, or at least consulting with him. Yes. How much did that head start, if you will, that comfortability with each other, help you kind of hit the ground running when you actually took the job?
Yeah, the real cool thing, my 21 years in the league, I've known Scott for 21 years. John Schneider worked with him, hired him, So I've known Scott a long time. He's a very good football guy. Similar to me, he grew up around it, with his father, always being around it. So it was an easy transition with him. And the really cool thing is he's very good at evaluating, but he's also good with helping me just with seeing the overall picture of stuff. Because I'll get locked in on certain things. He's like, well, what about this? You think about this? So it was a really good relationship. I look forward to going forward.
You said you wanted to go into Thursday with every scenario possible and be comfortable and just do the draft. Is that how it played out, or were you guys still for any loops?
That's how it played out. And the thing that's great about it was the coaches, from the head coach Jay to coordinators to position coaches, I had them all involved with each pick. And I make the final decision, but I want everybody to take ownership. And it was a really good conversations. Even the owner was sitting in there, and things went. If you'd have told me I could get the 10 guys, first of all, get the 10 picks and get the 10 guys I got before the draft, I would have said, if that's possible, it's great. I don't think it can happen. I don't think we get those 10, and we're able to do that. I'm a little biased, but I'm telling you, you wait and see. It's a good group.
Knowing that Preston Smith was not in a 3-4 system earlier, was there something you saw on tape that made you know he could make that transition easily?
You can see the athleticism on tape, no doubt about it. Just the flexibility in his lower body, his length, his arms. But at the pro day, they worked him as a linebacker, dropped him, flipped his hips, and catch ball. He might have the best hands on our team when he comes in here. So, he's a unique athlete. It's impressive. He, like I said, 6'5", 270, and he ran 4.7. And, he had sack production, like I said, even on the center in college in the SEC, which is hard to do. So he's got natural pass rush instincts. And you'll see he's got the flexibility in his hips and lower and the quickness to get it done.